Do you want to make money? Obviously, right? But let me ask you a more important question. Sure, you want to make money. There are ways to do it. But what is the most powerful advice that you ever got about making money? Let me ask you another question. Have you heard about money trap? If you haven't heard about it, then you must watch this video because you'll be learning few tips which will be one of the most powerful money lessons or money advice that you'll ever learn. With that said, let's begin. Hello guys, welcome to Book Ideas where we tell you interesting ideas from interesting books. The book that we have today, we are picking the idea from today, is called The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. It's an amazing book on understanding your mindset or your psychology of money, right? What psychology is good for it, how you should view money that will help you out in your financial life. With that said, if you want to get this book, I highly recommend it. By the way, you can click the link in the description. And also, if you want to see other videos like this from this book, then you can click the playlist, Book Ideas playlist, which is also in the description below. So let's begin. One of the biggest money trap, according to Morgan Housel, is when he looks at the time right now, is the concept of not enough. We don't have this concept of how much is enough for us. Now, why does this matter to you? Keep listening, you'll know why. So he gives two examples, two powerful examples in one of the chapters. The first example is Rajat Gupta. He was born in Kolkata, he was orphaned as a teenager, he didn't have such a good upbringing. But by his 40s, Gupta was CEO of McKinsey. It is one of the biggest or the most influential consulting firms out there. Not only that, he retired in 2007 and he took roles in United Nations and World Economic Forum. He even worked with Bill Gates on various philanthropic activities. He sat on a board of a lot of big companies. Now all this is going well, right? By this point, his net worth was about $100 million. $100 million is something which a lot of us will never see in our life. Depending on work we do or depending on our needs, we might not. You would think that that's enough, right? But for him, he was not satisfied with it. He wanted more. Now, what did he do next? Well, he resorted to financial crime. He was caught and he was sent to prison. The next example he gives is of Bernie Madoff. Now, if you Google Bernie Madoff, you will see what an influential figure he is. By influential, I mean he has pulled off one of the biggest Ponzi schemes ever. He stole money from people. And he got caught because of it as well. And he was thrown in prison as well. Now, these two people are some people who had enough, who are worth... And yeah, by the way, Bernie Madoff, before getting caught, before starting his Ponzi scheme, he was a legit businessman, like a proper businessman. He was successful. And then because of that concept of not enough, he resorted to the crime and got caught. Now, these are the two stories. On the other side of it, he also mentions, the author, Morgan Housel, mentions a report in one of the newspapers about an African scammer. He said that, I don't like scamming people, but my poverty makes me not feel that pain. I don't like it, it hurts to hurt other people, but it's poverty. Now the difference between two is, first one is, the African scammer did it out of survival. He had to survive, he had to eat, so he resorted to crime or scams. On the other hand, these people had a lot more than enough, and they still resorted to crime because they wanted more. The point is understanding how much is enough. Now, on this concept, Morgan Housel gives a couple of advice. So if you want to make money, then listen to this. A very good advice that will help you on your way to making money. So the first advice is, the hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving. Just as with two other people I told you about, Bernie Madoff and Rajat Gupta, you need understanding where to stop. How much to stop is very, very important. He said that your ambition might actually become much more than your fulfillment. Like if you want $1 million, you make $1 million. Yeah, you're very ambitious about it, but you kind of got fulfilled for a while, and then you say, you know what, I want to make more. You go for 10 million. You do that as well. Maybe push it to 100 million, maybe then a billion. So the point is, when ambition becomes too much, you have a chance of losing your path, going somewhere else, or not really being fulfilled with the goal. There's no point. If you're not fulfilled with the goal, then there's really not much point. And he also mentions another interesting point: modern capitalism. He said modern capitalism is a pro at two things. First one is generating wealth, which is good, and the next one is generating envy. But the crazy part about it is they both go hand in hand. And when that happens, you tend to lose your way from looking at important things, wanting important things, to just chasing money. The second advice he gives is social comparison is the problem. What does he mean? He gives an example of one of the what happens when it comes to athletes. So one athlete, let's take a cricket player, okay, because in India that's what we can relate to, cricket, right? A basic cricket player, someone who plays at a very beginner level, but professionally, he might be making a little bit money out of cricket. He's surviving. Now he compares his wealth or his earning with people who play for Team India. They are in a different league and they make a lot of money. Now these people, these athletes, what they do is they look at businessmen who are very, very wealthy. These people, what they make in years together, businessmen can do it in 1 year or even less. And these people compare themselves to all these businessmen and everything. And these businessmen, they look at some of the biggest, like for example Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos of the world, and feels like that's not enough. They have to do more to match up to that. The point is, this kind of race will never, it's very hard. Very few will make it to the top. There are different factors to it. There's luck, there's so many things, and most of us don't even need billions. Sure, it sounds good, but if you really look at it, really talk to people, most of us don't really care for just making tons of billions and becoming the richest person in the world. It doesn't really matter. For some people it does, for most it doesn't. The third advice he gives is enough is not too little. The idea of having enough might look very conservative, but it's really not. He said that enough, the best, how do you understand what is enough? How do you grasp this concept? He gives a very interesting way to do it. He said, enough is realizing that the opposite, which is an insatiable appetite for more, will push you to the point of regret. Now, to exactly demonstrate this point, he speaks about how Rajat Gupta, after he got arrested, after he went to prison, he said that he felt like there was no point in what he did. He didn't know why he did it. He said that was one of the biggest mistakes. He said he put too much weight on what money means to him. And he also said that, you know what, it damages his reputation, which was even more important. And he regretted it. The point is, if you don't grasp what is enough for you, if you always keep pushing the boundaries more and more, there is a chance that your insatiable hunger to achieve more and more and more might make you do things that you might regret. The fourth advice is, there are many things never worth risking, no matter the potential gain. One of the way to understand this is same thing. Your reputation is a lot more important. Being able to show your face to other people, being looked upon in the society as a decent person is very important. Is much more important than making a lot of money if it spoils your reputation at the cost of your reputation. Your reputation, well, it's one of the most important things, because let's say you make a lot of money but you break your reputation. People will not work with you again because you have broken that reputation. So focusing on important things, achieving things going for bigger things is good, but it should not be done at the cost of other more important things. At the ending, he has some beautiful lines. I'll tell you with that. I'll end it with that. He said, reputation is invaluable. Freedom and independence are invaluable. Family and friends are invaluable. Being loved by those who you want to love you is invaluable. Happiness is invaluable. And your best shot at keeping these things is knowing when it's time to stop taking risks that might harm you. Knowing when you have enough. With that said, guys, those were the advice for money. I hope this will help you get over your money trap and help you lead a better, more wiser, wisdom-filled financial life. With that said, if you felt like you learned something of value, something that you could apply, then leave a like, hit that subscribe button. With that said, this is Abhishek signing off, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.